today we are going to be making a teapot, a moss teapot. Now this came from Michael's. This sticker price $14.99 US, but of course, you know, we don't pay that. But I have already taken the liberty of filling it with gaps and cracks. It is a can. Let me show you what that is, if you don't know. It is spray insulation in a can. And what this does is this acts like the floral foam. So I spray it in here and it does puff up. I'd say about another third or so. It does puff up. And then I let it sit for, you know, at least 24 hours. But spray this outside. Do not breathe this in. Put on a mask. And you have to use the whole can at once. So I have to spray multiple containers at one time just to use up the whole can. But I love it because it fills it in. It's sitting right in there. I don't have to take a foam block. I don't have to glue it in. This works fantastically. I love it. But you will notice it did puff up a little bit over the top here, right? So I like to have an even surface. So I take, now this is a floral foam knife. You can just take a serrated kitchen knife. It works just the same. And I'm just going to kind of go over the top here, just to make sure I've got a nice flat surface. I shouldn't put my hand on that actually because I don't want to cut myself. There we go. It's not like perfectly level, but it's level enough. I feel like I just like cut somebody's skull off. It's kind of gross. But I do like to have a level surface. Now, I will tell you, there is a plastic liner in here, right? So you can see this a little bit. I'm hoping that when we're done, we won't see any of it, but I do have some extra moss that I can come in and put in there if I need it to, but I'm just going to try to push that bag down. By the time we get everything in here, hoping we don't see anything, okay? So what I have today are two different types of florals we're going to be using. So this is a mixed greenery bush, and I got this from General Wholesale. I placed an order on Fair because I'm using these items for my boutique and my craft show. So it's like little pop-up shops, stuff like that. So this is a really good deal. I've got 2 of these, and there are 4 sections. There's 3 sections on the bottom, kind of, and then 1 on the top. I've got 2 of these. And then I have these wildflowers, and these came from Michael's again. This is the Ashland brand, and these were sticker price was $19.99. We don't pay sticker price. No. We wait. So they had a really good sale, so I ended up having a bunch of stuff delivered. But I like these because I'm liking the wildflower look lately. You know, it just kind of carefree and like, I don't know, it's just whimsical. And this is a very whimsical container. So that's kind of our theme for today. So this shouldn't take us too long to do. And then I have this beautiful, look at this ribbon. It's fancy panty ribbon. Remember in the 70s, we used to have like the little nylon underwear. They had like the little lace and stuff on there. It's fancy panty ribbon. It's called Scalloped Edge. If they want to be technical, I guess you can't list it as fancy panty. But we're just going to create a very simple bow later on. And we're going to put it maybe higher up, maybe a little bit toward the handle or in front of the handle, but I don't want to cover the handle because that is part of the allure of the container. All right, I want to say hello, Linda. My friend Linda is watching. Linda and I got to meet up, and we had lunch last week. Breakfast, lunch. We ate last week, and I was the first one that spilled syrup all over the front of my shirt, which is why I put a napkin on there, and I looked like a dork, but it saved my shirt, so. Oh, it's funny. All right, I want to start off by putting the greenery in here. So I am going to remove the tag. Now this one is called 64847-LVPUGN. This was from General Wholesale. It was my first order that I've ever placed on Fair. You do have to buy, it's kind of like ways to buy wholesale. You do have to buy, you know, spend a certain amount, but I spent it and then some. But I would buy from Fair again. They've got different vendors, and you can just buy lots of supplies that you need. But you cannot buy supplies that you're going to like resell on a place like Etsy and whatnot. You have to like use it in something and then sell it in person. All right, so this is a nice big tall one. So I'm going to start with this. Okay, because I don't want this arrangement to be super, super tall. Okay. I don't want it to be top heavy, but this piece I think is going to kind of set the tone for the height for the rest of the arrangement. So I'm going to start by putting this in the center. Now it's got a good stick on here, so I don't have to put a pick in. I can literally just, oh, I don't like that. Okay, there's a hole in my foam. Sometimes you get air bubbles. So there's an air bubble in the foam. Yeah, that's all right. We'll deal with it. Okay, we'll deal with it. All right. And actually, these are kind of breaking off into more individual pieces, so that's actually nice. But what I want to do, I brought my friend. You guys know my friend, Big Bertha. Oh, my pick machine. She's my friend. All right. So what this does is put a metal pick on here. So I'm going to move the handle forward. That brings up a little metal pick. You can see right in there. I'm just going to set it right in there. Then when I push down on the handle, that pick wraps around it. And it's a nice little stabby thing, right? So I'm going to keep that over here, but when you see me going over there with it, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to start adding in some more of this. Maybe going a little bit this way. This is so cute. So cute. All right. The stems on these, once I've broken them off into the smaller one, they're not as sturdy as I would like to stab them in, so I'm going to be adding in picks. But that's okay. That's why I have the pick machine. You can always tie it to, or wrap it around one of those, you know, or our little green friend. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, these little guys that have the wire attached that is absolutely useless. But still, it's just different ways to do things. Because the pick machine is expensive. I'm not going to lie. It is a pricey little guy. But I got mine used off of eBay. All right, so this one, I'm going to see if I can just stab the whole thing in as one piece on this one. All right, it's pretty good, but that is awfully, it's actually taller than what I have in the middle. So I'm try to bring this maybe toward the center. There we go. Bring that toward the center. Kind of add some heights to the center as I'm going around this. I'm definitely going to have to use my other piece of this, but I don't know if I'm going to have to use it all. Yeah, I'm going to use it all. I know me. I know me. All right. Just need some, got to have some different pieces I'm going to be taking. I'm pulling all my Valentines out of my boutique spaces, and I'm putting in spring and Easter and some everyday stuff. So that's what I'm kind of going for here. Now this is not Easter themed. It can be for Easter because it's got the springy colors, springy feeling, but we can use it way past Easter. Okay, so see I'm breaking it. There's one piece. Come on. Oh, these two are all tangled up. Oh, they're having a menage a fern. There we go. That one. And these break up. All right. I'm going to start with this one. Oh, boy. All right. Now, I like to make sure we're going to take everything. We're going to spread it all out. Oh. And Aria is home today. I'm surprised she hasn't come down yet. She's off school because it is President's Day. Yay! All right. Adding some glue right onto this. It's so nice when the kids have a day off. All right, that's kind of where I did that on the front. Kind of going down with little fern pieces here. I think I do want to stick one in the back eventually, but I'll wait till I'm kind of almost done. Here is another one. Actually, this is breaking off pretty well, so I'm going to put a pick on that. That didn't stick very well. I'm going to do it again. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's better. I'm going to go fill this in. It's kind of like a little more in the middle right now, honestly. Needs a little something going in the middle. Gosh, this is going to be so pretty. I've never used this before, but I am in love with it. I I can't say enough good things about this. All right. Spread all these pieces out. Make sure it takes up its real estate, right? All right. Now that one seems good enough there. It's all taped together, so I can just stick that in without having to do a pick. Let's see what else. I know I'm going to end up using the whole thing. That's just what I do. All right, I think this is good enough. I'm going to spread this out. So you can see this is what it looks like from the top down right now. I'm also going to take the price tag off the handle. Yeah. There we go. The tag is sticking up a little bit. There we go. All right. All right, I got 2 more pieces. Now this bigger one, I'm going to try to kind of put toward the middle a little bit. There we go. All right. It's got lots of pieces sticking out. I'm probably not going to use the entire wildflower bush because I don't want to do too much and then you don't really see all these beautiful florals in here. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this so much. All right, and then this one's going to go in the back. It's exactly where it needs to go. Right in the back. There we go. Okay, so right now, this is where we have it. Go around. Okay. But you can still see all that white. I'm sure I'm going to have to put moss in the middle there. Blech. All right, but we are going to move now to our wildflowers. So these are pushers, which means you can push these things up and down on here. I want to try to push stuff up as much as I can because I don't want to cover all the nice, beautiful stuff that's down there. Okay, so I'm going to just snip it off here. Figure out how tall I want it. That's a little much. I can push this down in the foam, but I don't want to be pushing down like that far. We don't need to go that far. That would be a little bit too much of an arm workout, and I don't like to exercise. So, okay, that's where I put the first one. See right there? Okay, I'm keeping with the height. I am, however, leveraging these leaves. I might put one up and then one further down. See how I've got that? I don't want to push both of them up here, but I do want to use this to kind of fill in some of the gaps that are in there. So this one, I'm going to try to maybe put more toward the center, just so it's going to take up a lot of that space in there. And it is a little weird because I do have an air bubble. There is an air bubble in there. But, you know, sometimes you don't really know if there's an air bubble in there or not until you go doing it. So the good thing is if you do find an air bubble, you can kind of clear out the area around it and you can spray more gaps and cracks in there and then just let that sit. That's probably what I would have done now if I had more time and I had realized it sooner, but I didn't. So I didn't. I'm just kind of going around it, but everything is staying in there just fine. All right. So I love using mixed bushes because they've got so many different cool things in there, and then it takes the work out of having to go find a bunch of different things. All right, just kind of makes it a little easier because if I can be a lazy crafter, I'm going to be a lazy crafter. I am. Let's check out the comments. I need to say hello to my friend Liz. Hello, Liz. How's it going? You know, after our talk, I felt very energized after our talk over the weekend. It's always good to have a wreath bestie that you can kind of talk through things with, because I don't know, it just gave me a lot of ideas. I got my little cellophane packets that I'm wrapping up the wreath kits in that I'm going to be able to take to my craft show. So that was exciting. I did a prototype last night. That was pretty cool. I didn't know if I was going to need to have like a cardboard backing to hold all the pieces of the kit in the cellophane bag, but I don't think I do. All right. I love how this is turning out. This is one of those arrangements where I'm not going to want to sell it. I will, but I'm not going to want to. It's so pretty. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go work on the back here for a while so you guys can kind of look at the front here. All right. It's a nice tall one. Try to work on going around, kind of more toward the bottom a little bit. Kind of fill out what's kind of around the base because I don't want it to be super tall and there's like, you can see the moss basket and the plastic liner. Even though I know darn well I'm going to have to go put some moss in there. I don't want to. I hate working with that stuff. It makes me gag. All right. Price tag off. Another one. I'm putting this one lower as well. So I'm working down here. Like toward the bottom of the basket. Put that in there. Cool. Oh, I love how this is turning out so far. This is awesome. Go with another smaller one. Now this one I'm going to try to go up toward the spout of the teapot. There we go. Now I'm going to work with it kind of facing toward me a little bit. Now this is a big piece. There's a lot on this one, so I am going to see how there's so much on there. There's the leaf, there's a leaf on the top. So I'm going to try to put that more toward the front, but I think I'm trying to actually kind of go right in here. There's a bit of a gap. Let's see if that's where I want it. Yeah, that's where I want it. Glue. I told myself I was going to put my glue pot on and use my glue pot. You can tell I didn't. Oops. The nice thing about this is like when you put it in too, as long as the glue hasn't hardened it, you can always pull it back out a little bit if you decide that, hey, I need a little bit more room. Okay, so down in the front here, it's a little nakey, so let's go fix that. And I see one spot on the back too that I want to fix while I am back here. I am going to end up using the entire bush. I knew it. All right. So what we've got. This is a look how much is on that one. This is a good one. This is going to be one of the centerpiece pieces. So let's figure out where we want this. I kind of almost want to see if I can put this in the middle, but that's a little too much of the same stuff there. So what if I actually, yeah, I need a little more pink kind of right in the middle-ish. I can take a little bit off. I don't want to end up hitting the bottom of the basket and then wanting to push it down further, but I can't. Because then, I can still pull it back out and cut it down, but then I get glue all over the pliers. Okay. Now, as I said before, like I was going to do, I'm going to try to focus on the bottom. Do as I say and not as I do. So can I put that one on the bottom right there? I should have you guys looking over my shoulder. Next time I'm going to change the camera angle because I know this is not very conducive to seeing what the heck I'm doing if I can't show you what I'm doing. And I've also just made a decision. I'm not doing a bow. I think that would make it too fussy. And I don't want to do that. So I am not going to end up making a bow after all. I know, sounds crazy, right? Okay, 2 more pieces. I'm going to kind of go by the handle. I wasn't putting stuff by the handle because I thought I was going to end up putting, oh, I'm going to need a little touch of pink up in the front. Hold on. Oh, that can go over there. That does it good then. There's really a lot of pink, so I'm going to end up going with this white one down here. I want to put it kind of down here because it's a little barren. It's a little nakey down there. And I want to bring a little bit more pink up to the front. So yeah, this is where I'm going to put this. I'm going to trim it just a little bit because I don't think I need that much. It's all about taking really fun and unexpected things. Like this is, I would consider this an unexpected type of container. Like I wouldn't expect to be seeing, you know, a moss teapot. But there it is, and it's adorable. Okay, and this last one. Oh boy, this is going to end up having been a very quick Monday afternoon. Which is good because, you know, Ari is upstairs and she says she's hungry and she wants lunch. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is clear off my spot because I don't want these little pieces going into my arrangement. So I am going to pull this off. Yeah, it's all over me. And I can see in there. So let me grab my moss. I have a bag of moss. I could use like the Spanish moss, be easier to cover it with, but then it's a completely different color. I don't want to do that. So I am going to just try to open up this bag of moss. I will try to put a little bit of like glue on the spots just to kind of help hold it in place a little bit, but I have to be very careful not to push down on it. I don't want to hurt myself. So I just kind of put it in there and kind of just do a little light tappy, right? A little light tappy. That's all I need. I'm going to go around the outside first, and then I will go and work on the inside. So I'm just gently lifting up some of the foliage here. I'm trying to add in some of this moss. And, you know, it's going to fall on the table, and I'm going to just scrape it up and go put it right in. I'm not going to waste the product. I can avoid it. Now, I am going to get another glue stick. Gorilla glue sticks. Gotta love them. Gotta love them. All right. Going in the front here. It is pretty visible, so there's no way that I wasn't going to not have to put something around the edges. And that's all right. And if you're watching this on a replay, you can fast forward through this part. I'm literally just adding glue and shoving bits of faux moss in here. Ow, 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 ow. I touched the glue. I touched the glue! I'm even putting some glue on the bag, though. The plastic bag, because I don't want to see that. So there's no harm in doing that. I want it to look like it's all kind of like one piece. And this is a slightly different shade of green. But that's all right. I'm going around. This is the not fun part of making stuff. Kind of like the little finishing touches, the things that are not super fun. This looks like a bag of weed. It's not. Not that I would know what that looks like, to be honest. I'm square. I'm a dork. All right, here we go. Around the last outside edge, and then I'm going to start going on the inside. So I'm going to have to kind of stick my hand in there and kind of move some of the pieces apart a little bit, which is fine. It's glued in, so it'll just, if I separate it, it'll just bounce back. I used to be afraid to kind of like touch it too much after I put everything in there, but there's really nothing to be afraid of. It's all wired. All the florals are wired, so everything can bend right back into place. Okay, so I'm going to take a little handful of this, okay? And I like to like kind of like crush it up, like pinch it, right? So it makes, you know, like you feel like a ball. Now, I'm not going to glue this in. I'm just going to set some of this moss stuff in there. It's got enough stuff to stick onto where it's not going to come out. And I believe this I inherited this from somewhere, but I think it looks like this moss might have come from Dollar Tree. And to be honest, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I actually like this better than the Spanish moss. Spanish moss. Let me just find a couple other little spots that need just a little bit. Because we don't want to make this whole nice arrangement and then someone looks at it from a different way and they can see, you know, the foam. You don't want to see the mechanics kind of what we've done or how we've done it. So it's these last little touches that make it go the extra mile. All right, so now that I've done all that, I'm going to put this to the side. Well, you know what? It's still good moss. Let's find somewhere to use it. I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to waste it. All right. Now I want to go back and do kind of like a final. Now that I had my hands in there, do a final, just primping a little, moving around, making sure things, if I want it to come down a little further, I can bend it down a little bit, right? Come down. Some, if there's leaves, I want to bring some of the leaves. I brought some leaves down from there. So I do the base first, and then I kind of come and like look up at the top and see, do I like everything? Do I need to, sometimes, you know, if there's multiple florals on a stem, you can kind of pull them in a little different directions to kind of separate them a little bit so they don't look like they're stuck on the same stem, right? Ooh. You know I'm going to be washing my hands in there, right? Okay. So I know this was a super quick one today, but that's what I had time allotted for. But this is the teapot. I will show you two other containers I have. We're not going to make it, but I'll show you the containers and the different things. So this is, here we go. There's the front with the little spout going around on the side. There's the back. All right, and then there it is from the top. So this is kind of like your little angled view. Perfect little spring arrangement. Can you imagine walking into someone's home? They have a little table in their entryway. You walk in and you see this, and it looks fun. It's, as the kids would say, it's giving Alice in Wonderland vibes, right? It's kind of like got a, I don't know, just that kind of like whimsical Mad Hatter sort of kind of feel, at least for me. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to list this, maybe. Yeah, I'm probably going to list this at sweetariadecor.com. So that's going to be in my shop, probably within the next day or so. You can see it there. This tutorial is also going to end up on YouTube, so you can check there. That's a whole catalog of all the videos that I have done literally over the years. So there's lots of stuff out there as well. And you can also follow me on TikTok and the Gram, wink wink as they call it. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this little spring arrangement. If you make something similar, I would love to see what you do. So message me, and I would just love to see your work. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day, and come on, spring. Let's get here soon. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on social media and shop at sweetariadecor.com.